Greetings and salutations. How's everyone doing? Charlton66 here again with another video. As always, I hope everyone's doing well. I've been doing a lot of reading, digging through my comics, trying to put stuff away, pulling stuff out to read, which I'm going to go over. My last week's reading, it's a virtual cornucopia of comic book goodness. Didn't think you'd hear that word today. Virtual cornucopia. The Horn of Plenty. I know restrictions have been lifted for a lot of people, and they're out being able to go to the comic book stores. I'll probably go on Wednesday, pick up my newer books, but that doesn't leave me from stop reading my older stuff, which I'm going to go over right now. No Doc Savage this time. I forgot to dig out some books the minute I had started this video. I'm like, I don't have my Doc books, so, but it could be for another video. I read a bunch of different stuff, and it's amazing when you read, because this is newer stuff all the way to older stuff, and it's weird when you read everything like that. It's like, it's funny how much comics stay the same, but then how different they are. It's weird. Of course, the page layouts have varied, which, the Golden Age, they had some pretty decent page layouts. They had circle panels up to square. People, Kirby and Simon come outside of the breaking the wall of the panel, all that kind of stuff. And then you have Steranko coming and doing what he did, and Rich Buckler doing what he did. But you start seeing all this different stuff. But then the essence of the comic book remains the same: to entertain, 4-color medium, put characters on a page, and putting us in a different world that we live in, and taking us out of reality for a little bit. But it's just weird because it struck me reading these stack of books because it was newer to older. But I digress. I think a lot of people know what I'm trying to say. Like now, today's books, the covers, even though, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle anyone's art or anybody else, but the covers are not what they used to be. The cover on the stand wanted you to get your attention to what's going to happen in the book. Now covers are just mostly pinups, it seems like. But there are some comic books out there that what happens on the cover is in the book, but a lot of stuff is just a pinup, and/or it really doesn't reach what's going on inside the book. And sometimes the cover is 10 times better than what you have inside. It's just the way things are nowadays. But anyway, again, I digress on this stuff. So one of the things I read was this Strange Adventures 217 with an awesome from '69, I believe, awesome Adams cover, which has a great my beloved Atomic Knights or stories in here. I love the Atomic Knights. I like to get their first appearance and collect all the original appearances. Again, this is all reprint material with a great cover by Adams. Good stuff right there. Again, this has another great cover. In fact, the claim to fame for this book, other than having some awesome Mort Meskin artwork and of course Alex Toth with the great Eclipso, this is his first cover appearance, and I love some Eclipso. Great character, cool concept, and the Alex Toth artwork doesn't get any better. This was a good story. I love the cover date on this one. It's got the date stamp, April 30th, 1964. A pretty cool book to read. I enjoyed that a lot. Another book that is just phenomenal. The Adventures in Mystery, DC Special number 12, with a lot of Kubert goodness in this, and it's got the Silent Night, Brave and the Bold, I believe, his earlier appearances. I think are reprinted in this one. I can't remember what stories are reprinted from what issues, but it was good stuff. Read this House of Mystery number 112 from 1961. Nothing really to write home about. Just a cool cover and typical sci-fi and mystery from that time frame from DC. This is a fun book. Harvey Thriller, Blast Off #1 from 1965. Simon and Kirby cover, but Kirby and Williamson artwork inside on the Three Rocketeers, which is a cool story, great artwork. And there's also another Angelo Torres story in this, along with a story by Al Williamson as well. Good stuff in this. Back to my, I don't know if I've said it a million times before when this comes up, but one of my favorite radio shows, Tales of Texas Rangers, and here's a star, Joel McCrea. Jace Pearson, the head guy from Tales of Texas Rangers. This is #1. This is actually 4-color, 396, but it's the first issue, and the rest of the numbered off of this. But this is the first issue. But like I said, Dell 4-color, 396. A nice copy of this. Tales of Texas Ranger. And here's a beautiful copy of the Flying A, Range Rider of the Flying A. This is a Gene Autry produced, very short-lived, short-run TV show with Jacques Mahoney right here, which was a stuntman. But Gene Autry's Flying A Productions had put this out along with Buffalo Bill Jr. with Dick Jones. Ooh, had a brain fart there for me. Dick Jones did that. Was in that show, but this is an awesome copy. I got this years ago, and it still holds up. Reread it. Remember some of it, but not too much of it. Again, they're not stories to write home about, but they're just fun. Open them up, you get a nice thrilling adventure, and it's nothing. Like I said, that's groundbreaking, but it's just fun stuff. Cheyenne, this is number 13 from 1960. Nice copy, but I think it's a tape pull, which didn't happen with me. But it's still a fun copy. Good TV show, one of my favorite themes. Cheyenne, Cheyenne, where will you be camping tonight? But I digress. We got a Buck Jones comic from 1952. Awesome painted cover. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is what just pulls you off. Takes you out of this world, pulls you in this adventure, wants you to buy this book. Great stuff. Dell. This is number 8 of Buck Jones. I don't know how many issues Buck Jones ran. I got a couple. But people who don't know, Buck Jones died in the Coconut Grove fire, the infamous fire at the Coconut Grove that killed a bunch of people. Story has it that he died. He left. He evacuated to safety, but he went back in to save other people, to get other people out, and that's what killed him. He died saving people. That's what the story goes. I've never read anything that denounced that, but I could be wrong. It's a cool story nonetheless. Tragically, he did die in the Coconut Grove with a whole bunch of other people, which is sad. Zane Grey, which is one of my favorite Western writers. I like him. He's probably my favorite Western writer of the old books. There's a newer Western writer named Johnny Boggs, which is phenomenal. If you're into Westerns, if you're into Western stories, and you really want to read cool Western stories, I recommend Johnny Boggs if you want to read some cool Westerns. This is The Trail Driver, Zane Grey Stories of the West. This is number 32 from Zane Grey Stories of the West, number 32, which I repeated again. I'm sorry because I'm looking at another one, but it's Zane Grey's The Rustlers, which is a 4-color. I wanted to make sure that this did not fall into the 4-color. But again, nice painted cover on that as well. Here's another great painted cover, The Rustlers. But this is The Raiders of the Spanish Peaks. This adapts that story from Zane Grey. This is Dell 4-color 532 from 1954. And Dell never carried the comic seal the comic code stamp because they said their comic books are wholesome enough and good enough, and it falls under the category of good taste that they felt they didn't have to carry the seal. So there's no Dell comic book that has the comic book authority on it. Not that one would if it had it, but it brought that up that it was pre-code, but any Dell comic book will not have the code on it. This was a quirky book, again, nothing to write home about. My Greatest Adventure, which is such a great title anyway. This is number 42 from 1960. Again, nothing to write home about. This has seen better days. It's got a little bit of wear there at the bottom, but it was a fun read. Quirky. This last story was just funny. They're out and they're in the city behind buildings, shooting over skyscrapers and stuff with this poor dude, and so it's the last story in this book. And on to some newer stuff. Well, some Bronze Age stuff, which My Beloved Defenders, which has got a great Hannigan cover with Moon Knight. Love my Moon Knight. This is Defenders number 47. In this issue, Moon Knight kicks the crap out of Nick Fury, which is awesome. Hand-to-hand combat, he beats Fury. Number 48 with Moon Knight in it and Scorpio. Nice reads there. It's fun stuff. Keith Giffen's art, he was just trying to get better. It's just not my cup of tea in this era or this stage of his career. Give me a good Sal anytime on the Defenders. This is number 49. Again with the Moon Knight, which loves the Moon Knight. That was a fun read. And a comic book that didn't get much. I don't know. It's not. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but it's such a great comic book. It's called The Nevermen, and the blurb of it, it's a pulpish, very set back in the 30s. The technology is what the Nevermen use is from the 30s. It's great stuff, but but the blurb is the Nevermen, heroes that never were. But it says, journey again to a time when the action was bold, evil seductive, and the good guys wore suits. So it's just an awesome concept. I got mine signed by Guy Davis. Where is it at? Right there, right over his shoulder, which I already had him signed. It was 2 mini-series that came out, and I had Guy Davis sign just the first issue of each series. I try not to go hog wild when I meet a creator, and I just wish. And again, I look back, I kind of wish I got more stuff signed and maybe bought some artwork from him, because he's only done one convention appearance that I know of. That was at Baltimore a few years ago, and he hasn't been back since. I don't know what he's even doing anymore. Guy Davis is, to me, a phenomenal artist. I learned his stuff from the Vertigo's Sandman Mystery Theater. That's when I first saw his artwork and I fell in love with it. And it fits the time. If a man was born way too late, it was Guy Davis. The man should have been born and drawn for the pulps and drawn some Golden Age books. He has a flair for the 30s and 40s. Again, this is the Nevermen, like I said. This is the Streets of Blood storyline. Look at that cover, man. I mean, look at the detail inside of the cockpit. And these heroes wear suits. They've got gadgets. It's almost like a steampunkish, the gadgets that they use. But it's very pulpish. If you love the pulps, love action of the 30s, the Nevermen are for you. The writer, I'm sorry, is Phil Amara, is the writer. I think Guy Davis and Phil Amara created the Nevermen. It might be just Guy Davis alone. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. And here's, I think this was the first series. The greatest heroes who never existed, the Nevermen. Just good stuff. This is first issue, again, Guy Davis, right there. he was doing free sketches as long as you had them personalized on these cool cards that had his name and studio information on it, and then he did a cool. He also did a lot of stuff for Dark Horse, which this is a Dark Horse book, but also on Hellboy, BPRD. He did some stuff with that. I mean, look at this stuff. Great stuff. Guy Davis, highly underrated, and he should be doing work. We should see his work all the time. Again, this will never been number 3. And the Neverman number 4 of this 4-issue series. Good in 15 minutes here. Last thing, want a little bit of Thunder Agents, and this was handy without digging out my original Thunder Agents or my DC archives, and I like the Justice Machine, so this was pretty cool. Put up by Texas Lone Star Comics, Texas Comics. I don't know if they said Lone Star or not, but I know there's Lone Star Comics that deal in comic book, but no, just Texas. Yeah, this is Justice Machine Annual, Volume 1, Number 1, 1983, and they're tapping into the popularity of the Thunder Agents at that time, because JC Comics, that's what I was thinking about. I'm sorry, was putting out John Carbonaro. Has the rights to it. They're reprinting and putting out new stuff with the Thunder Agents right there, and they're plugging in with Justice Machine, which is great stuff. It's got fun stuff. If you're aware of the Justice Machine, you know how cool they were, and it's just good stuff. But I highly recommend you can find this in the dollar bin. This is nothing of value, but it's value to me because it's a great story and it's got my Thunder Agents in it. Well, that's what I've been reading. That's about it. Read some individual stories here and there and some hardbound collections, but nothing. I don't want to. They're on the shelf right now, but it's just 1 or 2 stories out of that. But that's what I read this week and a half or so. Hope everyone's doing well, like I said, and you guys take care and have a great week. And if you like what you heard and saw, please comment, give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Don't hold you to anything when you subscribe. It's just cool to have subscriptions and entertaining folks that are out there who want to talk about comics. And if you want to talk about anything about comics, leave it in the comments. I mean, nothing's off the table when it comes to comic books and collecting and stuff. So, all right, you guys, take care, and I'll talk to you later.